I thought about what if I tested the devices for 1 week and then make a video and put everything on one video. I mean, everything. Unboxing, performance, technical stuffs, camera, everything on just one video. I would like to say this is easier for you and you don't have to search many different videos on YouTube anymore. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, as of today, a new program starts in this channel, and that's called 1 week later. In 1 week later program, I want to test various devices like smartphone, smartwatch, headphones, laptops, and put it the result as one video of this channel. And I will start it with, are you ready? Google Pixel 4.
It's Pixel 4 time. You know the drill. 2 sizes, 3 colors, 2 storage options, a million leaks, Google software, a really good camera, the whole Pixel deals. The Pixel 4 is the flagship. It's what Google says Android should be, and it also wants it to be the default Android phone. The point is, the Pixel is all about expectation. You knew what to expect because everything leaked, but now that it's here, can it live up to those expectations? Let's get into it. Big phone launches come thick and fast towards the end of each year, and 2019 has been no different. Pretty much the last manufacturer to reveal its flagship devices every year is Google. The Pixel 4 has been now arrived. It's Google's fourth in-house phone, and as evolutions go, there are a few potential upgrades. There's an extra camera and new radar-based gesture system, and Google has killed the notch. But how? Before we dive into the review, here are some basics. The Pixel 4 comes into 2 different sizes, a 5.7-inch Pixel 4 and a 6.3-inch Pixel 4 XL. Colors: black, white, and oh so orange. There are only 2 storage options for the Pixels, a measly 64GB and a more suitable 128GB. If your option is for a smaller 5.7-inch Pixel, prices started at €749 and top out at €849. The bigger phone started at €899, climbs to €999. Other than physical sizes and some battery differences, there's very little difference between the 4 and the 4 XL. There are 2 big design changes to this year's Pixel: the cameras and removal of the fingerprint sensor, which has sat on the phone's rear since 2016. This cleans up the back of the phone with only the camera's bump sticking a couple of millimeters above the smooth glass surface. For the first time, Google has introduced facial unlocking to the phone. After adding a profile of your face by carefully rotating your head at the front-facing camera, the unlocking system is quick to operate. Pick up the Pixel, hold it in front of your face, and it will almost instantly unlock. It's quick, responsive, and convenient. Unlike Apple, it hasn't included an alertness setting that activates the system when you're looking at the camera. It will work if your eyes are shut. This means anyone who waves a Pixel near your face can get into the phone. Google has been forced to backtrack on this, saying a software update will add an attentiveness mode in the coming month. 5 years of development has gone into Google's biggest addition to the Google Pixel 4, the company says. Its radar system. sits above the phone's display and it's intended as a gesture interface. It detects when your hand is above the phone and responds to your movement. But at this stage, it doesn't really do a lot. When playing music, you can skip to the next song by waving your hand from the left to right, and you can silence alarms and calls through the same gesture. And that's all. There is definite potential here. At the moment, it seems to work with your hand about 15 to 20 centimeters above the screen. As much as Google wants us to focus on the new facial recognition and the radar hardware, it's impossible to ignore the cameras. The Pixel has been about the cameras since day one. This time around, the company has been added the second lens for the first time, following the general industry trend. There is a 16 megapixel camera with f2.4 aperture and second telephoto lens that's 12.2 megapixel with f1.7 aperture. As the typical with Pixel, the camera setup is fantastic. Images are clear, crisp, and the new telephoto lens lets you zoom more than ever before in Google's phone range. The night mode is one of the best out there. The quality of the image is more than good enough for whatever you want to do with your photos. While the second camera does mean you can zoom in on practically everything, Google has missed a trick by not copying its rivals, including the iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro. For the first time in 4 years, Google has acknowledged the Pixel's internal specs need a bump. It boosted RAM from 4GB to 6GB. But the big performance issue is the phone's battery. The 4XL has a 3700 mAh battery, and the smaller 4 comes with 2800 mAh battery. Google says the battery will get you through a whole days, but on heavy days of phone use, you cannot 100% trust that. On heavy days of the phone use, I had the 13% around 7 p.m. each evening. The remaining juice is enough to get you through the tone time, but being that low does make you feel uneasy, especially when it could be avoided with a slightly bigger battery. The Pixel comes with a couple of Android advantages. Each year, the phones launch with the last version of OS. As is typical with Pixel, the Android skin is incredibly minimal and one of the most user-friendly experiences that's out there. But more importantly, Pixel tends to get Google's security updates and patches faster than other phones. This matters when 12 months after Android Pie's release, only 22% of Androids are using the most recent version. Google is turning Android into security advantage for its own phones. The Pixel 4 is a very good phone. It's fast, contains the purest form of Android available, has a mighty impressive camera, and Google's design department has got its form factor right. Sure, it may not have the highest specs of flagship phones in the market, but it is up there with some of the best phones you can buy. But is it a huge step forward for the Pixel? In reality, probably not. There is not a large amount of new must-have features when compared to the newest Google phone, the budget-friendly Pixel 3a. The dual camera addition helps Google keep knocking competitors back into the camera department, but a wide-angle lens would have been an ideal cherry on the cake. The phone's battery life causes a level of nervous anxiety that wasn't needed and crucially hadn't been present in previous Pixels. If you want one of the best Android phones around, sure, buy the Pixel. It won't do you wrong, and you will be wondering why the more people don't have the phone. But just be aware that you can get a lot more features for your money if you go elsewhere. For example, OnePlus 7T for around $100 cheaper has greater storage as default and a minimal Android bloat. That's all from me. Make sure you subscribe to be the first to see the next videos. Lots of stuff happening. This is the first episode of 1 week later and the review of Pixel 4. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.
I've been
Peace.
having dreams, jumping on a trampoline, flipping in the air. I never land, just float there.